thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here. We're going to be skipping all the intros, skipping all the writing, and just get straight to the bee's knees here. Okay, this is my air filter, and this is my 1,000 mile check-in with Trask Assault air filter. So if you all know from the installation, we had some difficulties in the plexiglass itself. There was a few minor scratches, so GetLowered went ahead and hooked us up with a new plexiglass free of charge. They sent me a box as well to kind of ship them back their old plexiglass, warranty purposes of course. But here she is. As you can see, the color's already faded. This is the oil that comes from the factory. They come bright red, and then after a while the oil just kind of evaporates, and still protecting the air filter, still protects the engine from particles and stuff like that, but the red is gone. Now it's a nice gray, as you can see here. So still looks pretty good. I'm okay with the color not being red, and as you can see, this design, you can look right into the throttle body in there. So let's get into a couple reasons why you might not like this air filter. And one of them being is just because of how wide it is or how thick it is. And when I'm riding, there it is. As you can see, it's not too noticeable, it's not too bad. You know what, I believe this, if you had forward controls, I mean, I believe it's okay. Mid controls, see, it's hitting my shin right there. If you had forward controls on this bike, that would be bothering you. So that's probably one of the downsides of this filter. For the mid controls, if you install this filter a little bit over to the right, it's possible you could actually install this upside down, and it'll move the whole filter to the right about 1.5 to 2 inches. So if you install it, of course, if you install this over by 1.5 inches over to the right, you see this sensor a whole lot more. This one right here. So that's why I just decided, you know what, instead of having the clearance for my foot, I didn't want to see this big old sensor right here. So mid control wise, if you install it upside down, no issues at all. The way it sits right now, minor issues. You do feel the air filter. It gets in the way a little bit, but you know what? I'm not crying about it, and I'm not too worried about it. So that'd be one of the downsides. So plus sides of having this breather is you get to see the insides of the throttle body. I think that's pretty cool. When you rev it, you can see that thing flip in there, sucking in air. It's pretty cool. Reminds me of the old school shaker hoods on some of those Camaros or Mustangs, you know, that American muscle kind of style. That's what I like about it. And as I had mentioned during the installation of the impressions of the video, I was actually surprised. I was quite surprised on the performance. So as you all know, I installed my exhaust first, my 2-in-1 Cobra. I installed that without a tuner for about a month or two. Installed the tuner. I wasn't too impressed.
But I'm not impressed by your performance.
I installed the tuner. I went ahead and I installed the tuner right after, maybe about a month or two. I believe it was almost 2 months. Installed the tuner. Wasn't too impressed about it. I was actually kind of against tuning your bike. But for some reason, as soon as I installed the air filter, this breather, it just woke up the engine for some reason. And I know I had the stock 114, you know, that Lowrider S air filter, the breather, and that was supposedly a performance breather. But for some reason, when I installed this one, it was a huge difference. It really woke the stage 1 completely. I was able to, you were able to feel the difference. I was actually quite surprised. I was actually really quite surprised after installing this air filter. So I'm not sure if this would work with all the other filters, but completely taken back and surprised by the extra 10-12 horsepower. Just having that full stage 1, the tuner, the exhaust, and the air filter. And another plus side about this other than, you know, having the jump in performance, was you actually have two options here when it comes to Trask. So you could actually have an external breather ports, you know, that it's just that oil that sucks back into the back into your intake and into your engine. So you actually have a few options. You have these optional breather bolts here, and these are plugged up just to kind of stay in with California laws. Here in California, they're really strict about having these hot oils go into the atmosphere. So if you look inside, you can actually see some ports. Let's see if we get this focused. You can actually see some ports in there. So the ports in here, they're actually connected. They're actually connected to these other ports that are plugged up. So if you wanted to get a little bit more performance, I'm not sure how much really it would make a difference, but you could have an external canister with a breather somewhere in between down here, you know, kind of like that other type of air filter setups. So you could go ahead and you could remove these and then have those hot oils go out and through your little oil canister down here. So that's an option, but I like the way Trask has it already set up for you. You have that option to kind of export your gases or your oil outside, or just kind of leave it kind of stocked, kind of the way Harley-Davidson does it, to kind of remain EPA friendly and happy with the government. Because, you know, completely happy with this setup. I know there's a few different setups out there. I believe there's two other kind of see-through plexiglass breathers. There's a few different styles, but I was actually happy with this one. This is more of a kickback, more of a classic style look. They also offer a couple chromed and a couple, you know, this little inlays that's cut too. So different type of designs. It looks pretty cool, looks pretty badass. A lot of people comment about how you can see right through it. That's pretty cool. So there she is, Trask Assault air breather. Highly recommended. Just a few minor issues. Quick recap. Good performance. Looks good. Feels great. Big difference. A little bit of a clearance on the foot pegs on your leg. As I mentioned, you could move this filter 2 inches over to the right. Your leg completely clears with the mid control. So thanks for watching. You guys want to keep on tuning in for more motorcycle content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You guys let me know what air breathers you guys got on your rides. I know the S&S teardrop looks pretty badass, but I went ahead and I went with this one instead. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Later.